Well, to another great show, A Middle Ground with JLE in season 13. That's the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, The JLE Experience. I own the music and copyright. Don't mean nothing Facebook. Always got to say that. We got another amazing guest for you today. We have keynote speaker, two-time best-selling author, cancer survivor, life coach, hypnotherapist, founder of Conscious Creation Ministries, executive empowerment strategist, Cooper Harrison, MBA, RMT, CH. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. First question, what led you to this path?
Yeah, I think what led me to this path was God's calling. And, I always was kind of spiritually tapped in as a kid, growing up pretty religious, pretty Catholic and those things, and just kind of following, going to church, reading the Bible, and just trying to find what God wanted me to do instead of what I wanted to do exactly. And I just kind of gave up that control, and I thought my life was to live like this cookie cutter route that, we're kind of just like sold in a way, and just like climb the corporate ladder and, just, get married, wife, kids, get the house, get the car. Like that's what I thought it was. But then I had kind of a catastrophic breakup about 2 years ago, and having that whole shattered identity for me, I was like, well, this isn't going the way I want it to go. So I'm going to give it up to God. And then God started giving me opportunities, opening doors for me to help other people. So it really just kind of stumbled into my lap. And like the hypnotherapy stuff, like I've been meditating for about 5 years, and I was always helping others meditate and like facilitating meditation.
Okay.
And being able to do that, it was cool because people were like, oh, I got to like visualize this, see that, like all this stuff. And I was going through the process with people, and they're like, you're really good at like leading these. Like you should look into that. So then I looked into it, and I started getting into like the psychology of the brain. So the brainwave states. Basically, to kind of simplify of what I'm about to say, you operate in kind of 3 or 4 brainwave states. Beta, which is your waking state, which is what we're doing right now. Alpha, which is your relaxed state. And then theta is like your REM sleep. So when you're basically sleeping, you operate in theta waves. So it's a lot slower. Basically, what I was doing was how to research, how do I get to the beta wave to the theta wave? Because when you're sleeping, your body heals and also your mind heals when you're in that REM sleep. So how can I mimic that? And I found ways to mimic that. And I noticed when I went through my hypnotherapy cert, I was already doing this. Like I was doing it through my countdowns and like these other visualization exercises.
Okay.
So it was kind of funny. I just like stumbled into it, and I was like already doing the stuff that I was like meant to be doing, but I never had the credentials, right? Because, like the whole certification process, like certifications are great, but in the end, it's more just for the credibility, right? So I've been doing this for years, and it's so crazy because you just kind of start doing something on your own that you really enjoy. And for me, it was just using your words and using your thoughts to heal your brain, heal your body. And tap into your soul and find your soul's purpose, because that's where God resides in. God resides in all of our souls. So that's kind of what got me into it.
Yeah, because we don't really think about what our purpose is. We just want to make a lot of money, travel, get the family, and then if you get laid off or stuff happen, like, so what do I supposed to do?
Exactly.
Find out it's something different.
No, it really is. And that's like what people like you go to school, and like I played football in college, and some people have that kind of tough transition period, athletes specifically, because you play sport forever, right? And then you go to college, and that was what your identity was. And then when you're out of college, you don't have a sport. You freak out, and that's where like bad habits can come into play, because like you are having an identity crisis, and when you have that identity crisis, you look to cope through different mechanisms. And I never really had that transition period, But it happened when I really thought like my whole purpose was just to climb the corporate ladder, be a husband, be a father, and all those things. And I still want to be a husband and a father, don't get me wrong. But I was like, I don't want to just work a job and just like fill out spreadsheets and orders and stuff. I want to create an impact on the world in a bigger way. And I think healing is the way to go for me at the moment.
Okay. Now, you founded Conscious Creation Ministries.
Mm-hmm.
What is that all about?
Yeah, great question. A lot of people ask me this question because it's an interesting business name. And the reason why I say that is because consciousness is very different from just like spirituality. I think of consciousness as the expansion of your mind and being aware of your surroundings and being aware of the world that we live in, just being socially aware. So that's the conscious part. The creation part is what you simply create. So what do you create? You create things with your hands, you create things with your words, your mouth, you create perceptions with your eyes, your ears, and you create thoughts. So what are you creating? Are you creating a positive environment around you? Are you creating a negative environment around you? Positive self-talk or negative self-talk? Are you creating a life that you want to live? Or are you creating a life that your parents wanted you to live? Your teachers wanted you to live? A life that honestly you're not happy with just because it's the life that you were sold and now it's not coming to fruition. The ministry part to me is creating a collaborative network of conscious, like-minded individuals that want to just help people and actually raise the vibration of the collective in our society and create businesses with true love, true purpose, true support, and servant leadership. So that's the ministry part. Because the ministry part, I think, is what people get really curious about. Because when you think of ministries, you kind of think of a more religious standpoint. This is not exactly religious. This is more of just a beautiful collaboration of like-minded souls trying to live a purposeful life and showing others that they can do the same. So that's where it came from. And it came from a period of just me just asking God, like, what I wanted to do with my life. And that was the birth of that business and the birth of the business name and all the, legal paperwork that goes with creating a business. So yeah, that was the start of Conscious Creation Ministries. And the way I see it is everybody wants to create something of value, of tangible value in this world. And it looks different for everyone. It doesn't look exactly the same. Some people want to create, the next app. Some people want to create, a whole media network. Some people just want to create food and they just want to open a restaurant or a coffee shop that, has good ingredients in it, or, you can bring your dog to and like have your dog run around and, everyone loves dogs, right? So then, you go in, dogs are helping boost your day, even though you didn't think you needed that for your day. It is boosting your day. Some people want to become, medical healers, whether it's Western medicine or the more Eastern medicine practices that are more old school. Some people want to create maybe just more conscious books, video games, more conscious technology. Like, I think creating conscious products and services, it doesn't have to be just one specific thing. It can be anything. Like, you can create conscious like technology. You can create apps that actually help people, boost their mood, boost their mindset, help their everyday life, help their finances. Like, you can do that. You can create video games the same way. Or you can create books the same way. Like, it really just depends on your intention, and your intentions have to be of the utmost, I would say, good, just like collective good. And you get that from God. So when you're tapped into God, music too, making more conscious music and more conscious art. I think a lot of people want to do that. And
Yeah.
what you first have to do is you have to, eliminate all the shrubbery out of your subconscious and your brain and your traumas and your past. You got to eliminate all those. You got to let those go. And then
Mm-hmm.
God comes in and gives you that calling and that purpose, and you push forward and create something beautiful out of it.
Yeah, that's an amazing story with an amazing company name. Mine was just, I ain't got middle ground. The Bible say yeah and nay. I'm with that. You suck or you cool.
Yeah. I like the middle ground. Like, I really do. I think that's such a cool. I mean, I've always been a middle ground type of guy. Like, I don't ever see things as, I see the gray area as my area. Like, that's the area I operate, because I don't see everything as necessarily like good or bad. And I learned that through reading The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. He's a great person to read, because he actually talks about how right and wrong and good and bad are a lot of constructs. There's just like a lot of constructs around right and wrong and good and bad, and it's just like your perceived ego. So I try to operate in that area where I'm like, how do I label something as good or bad? So yeah, I like the middle ground. That's a cool name.
Yeah, and I actually do listen. People like, that is your person. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it's in the Bible, so I'm not crazy.
No. You crazy? Yeah, that does not give me that vibe. No.
God say pick a side. Okay, pick a side. But here, I will sit.
I'm gonna sit right here in the middle. Yeah.
It's been pretty cool. Now, you have 2 best-selling books as an author. What made you get into writing?
Yeah, that's a great question. I got into writing through. It was more my childhood. I would say my childhood. I would say my childhood, because I grew up in a way that was, I don't know. I kind of matured. I'm an old soul, so I matured a lot differently than most kids. So when I was like in middle school, I just found it hard to fit in with a lot of spaces, like a lot of groups of people. So my friendships were somewhat small. Like, I still had friends, but I still learned to spend time by myself. So I learned to write. I also, as a child, growing up, when I was like very spiritually tapped in, and I didn't even realize it at that point, I wrote down my dreams, and I wrote down like my dreams and like visions of just like what I saw, which was kind of like angelic type of beings and like kind of some high level things. So I wrote those down to just like keep track of it. And I had learned to just love writing and learn to love my thoughts. It's actually funny, because my teachers in school did not like my writing. I actually wasn't a great student. I actually got C's on papers. I remember I got a D on a paper in high school. Like, it was, I had a tough go in English in middle school and high school. So I wasn't always a great writer to teachers, which doesn't matter, because, the results speak for themselves, being a best-selling author twice. So I got into poetic writing because I loved hip hop music. I still love hip hop music, but that's what got me into the poetic side of things.
Okay.
So I never really got into like wanting to record music, though. Maybe that's something in the cards down the line. I don't know.
You should. Pretty cool.
It was like the closest thing I could get to it, though. So that's kind of why I did it. But my recent book, Grand Rising Universe, is a daily devotional for meditation. And I loved writing that because that helped people get into meditating without them even really having to do like kind of the woo-woo hippie stuff. They could take like 5 minutes out of their day. They read one page, because it's a letter to the universe, asking the universe like questions, like just kind of asking questions on who am I? What do I really want to be? What is the ego? Like, we're taught the ego is something, but really the ego is just your construct of trying to make you comfortable in life. So that's why you're not taking risks. So I kind of have these high level topics that I just write in letters every page. And then you just like read a page every day. So it's not even like a huge commitment either. Nice. So it gets people into reading and it gets people into meditation at the same time. So I loved that one. And now I'm coming out with a kid's book in this
Nice.
summer, and it's going to be about the subconscious brain with children and how parenting. And now, granted, I'm not a parent, I understand that, but just growing up with coaches and those sorts of things,
Mhm.
like I definitely think the power of words with kids really does resonate.
Oh yeah.
So the framing of the subconscious with a child, what I aim to get out of what I'm writing right now is helping parents and kids connect more on how their words truly matter and how
Mhm.
their thoughts of themselves truly matter. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm really excited to share that with people.
That's awesome. Where can they buy your books at?
So they're on Amazon, all of them. It's
Okay.
the easiest way to do it. I think they're on my website too, actually. If not, I'll put that up there, and my social medias as well. Conscious Coop on Instagram, TikTok. I'm also on Facebook too, as just Cooper Harrison, and LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn is a good place to get my books. But this kids book I'm coming out with, it should be on Amazon. I'm working with a collaborative publisher, so I'm working with I think like 10 other writers or like 15 other
Nice.
writers. Yeah, it's really cool. It's called Brave Kids. So it's volume 3,
Okay.
and it's through Brave Healer Productions. So
Nice.
I think it's bravehealerproductions.com is where you can also buy that, but they're going to be on Amazon too. I mean, Amazon is such a, regardless of what you think about Amazon in a moral perspective, they are such a good platform to like write books on and even
Hmm.
start businesses. Like I've met business owners where they've had a lot of success in retail, and I was like, "How'd you start?" And they're like, "We started with like Amazon because it's just an easy platform you can build all your retail on." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fair enough, And it's like, yeah, we don't do the distribution, or we don't do the manufacturing through them, but we'll do the distribution and the shipping and transportation through
And
them."
that's
I'm like,
huge.
"Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, that what that makes sense now." So it really does. It is kind of an easy decision at times as an author to just be like, "Yeah, I'm just going to do it through Amazon," because shipping and distribution is just a lot easier.
'Cause that's a big chunk.
Mhm. Yeah,
they
exactly.
they fit that bill. That's pretty awesome, brother. I know it's gonna be a great book.
I appreciate that.
Now, you're a keynote speaker as well.
Yeah.
What enjoyment do you get out of speaking?
Oof. Yeah. I mean, there's so much that I've done in the speaking world, and I didn't even realize it till
Hmm.
recently. It's just funny, like growing up as a kid, because I had cancer as a kid. So I was diagnosed when I was 7, and I did treatment for 2.5 years. In the 2.5 years, I did treatment, and then even after that treatment stage, I was doing charity events. So I was like going to these
Mhm.
charities. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is the big one that I worked with. They do like team and training and like marathons, and then they do like these other things. So I worked with them, and I was their honored hero. So that's what they do for charity events. They usually pick like one kid to be like the honored hero, and
Okay.
that's like the face. So I remember I was doing these events, and I'm like 7,
Mhm.
8 years old, and my mom would like, I love her, but she would definitely make me go out there and like thank people, like go out there and thank people
uh,
on this stage and this platform. So I'd be in front of like tens of people, just like saying thank you and just giving a few words and stuff. And I'm glad my mom made me do that, because I think she discovered that talent. Even though I was really quiet and I was really shy as a kid, I
mhm.
think she knew that I could get up there and just express myself, and people would
Mhm.
receive that well. And I knew what to say and all those things. So I literally have been speaking for 20 years of my life, because I'm 28 years
Ah,
old. So I mean, I've been
amazing, brother.
kind of doing it, whether it's like saying thank you as a kid, or giving this big presentation on mindset in front of 1,000 people.
Hmm.
It's all the same, because you're making an impact in some sort of way. But I think what I love the most about public speaking now and keynote speaking now is educating. I grew up in a family of educators. All of my grandparents, besides one, were educators. So I love educating people on the importance of well being, the importance of what their mind is telling them, and
Okay.
just the importance of going out there and being yourself and being authentic and just enjoying who you are as a person, like truly loving yourself. I think that's what I love talking about the most. And as much as I love talking about my, cancer story and my adversity and all those things, I really enjoy more this whole process of reaching into people and motivating them to
Mhm.
like step out of their comfort zone to find themselves, because finding yourself is never comfortable. It's
No.
very uncomfortable actually. And being vulnerable is not comfortable either.
Mm-mm.
But when you tap into that, that's where you find most of your success. So I just love teaching people about that. I think that's where I get the most gratitude,
Mhm.
and I think that's where I get the most inspiration, to be honest with you. Like it's definitely,
Okay.
it's never the keynotes, the topics are usually the same, which is mindset and the power of overcoming adversity.
Mm.
But even with those topics all being the same, my approach is never the same. I will never approach the stage the exact same. They're always going to be different because every crowd is different, and
True.
every crowd has a different environment, different types
Mhm.
of people, different types of situations, and you got to find ways to tap in through a different approach every time.
Mhm.
So, I think that's what I enjoy the most. I enjoy that challenge because it is a challenge,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I get to be an actor, but instead of like acting in movies and TV and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I mean it's kind of like real acting, because I get this
Yeah.
attention, I get this spotlight, eyes are on me, but I actually get to be authentic. I'm not faking it. Like it's scripted.
Yeah.
Everything is
Truthful.
scripted on what I'm doing, but it's real because it's coming from the heart. So
Mhm.
I think that is the coolest part of it for sure.
And definitely, congrats that you're cancer free still.
Thank
Amen.
you. Thank you. Yeah,
Amen.
yeah, amen. Thank you. Yeah, it's been almost 20 years of remission now.
That's amazing. God can do anything.
Exactly.
Now, how does hypnotherapy help with executive empowerment strategy?
Yeah, yeah. I love this question because I don't like using the word coach at times. I
Mhm.
think everyone wants to be a life coach, business coach, finance, like everyone wants to be a coach. So I was talking with my mentor, and I'm like, I don't want to be just a coach. And then she was like, well, how about the executive like strategist? And I'm like, that's good, but we need another word in there. And I
Mhm.
was like, what about empowerment? And she's like, that's a great one. That fits you to a T because that's what you're helping people do. So executive empowerment strategist goes beyond just your business life, and it goes beyond just your business acumen. I
Okay.
am empowering you to be your authentic self inside the office and outside the office, in front of the screen and behind the screen. And basically what that is I take these just these hardened parts of yourself and these kind of insecure shadow parts of yourself,
Okay.
and we layer those back and we let those go so you can live in your full authentic self and actually become the person that you want to be, not the person that you've maybe have had to be to get to the level that you're getting to. Because I heard the statistic from a friend.
Mhm.
He goes, 70% of executives get let go of, not because
Wow.
of performance issues, because of character flaws. So
Mm.
that is harassment, alcoholism,
Oh,
just any of those different things.
yeah.
I'm like, 70%.
That's a big number.
Wow. That's a huge number. So I'm like, how can I fill that gap? I want to fill that gap because there is no way. Because, yeah, some people obviously make it to the top because, well, they have friends, family connections, right? But
Mhm.
I refuse to believe all of them got there because of luck. Like, there are people that are just that good at what they do, and they're
True.
very intelligent, very charismatic, and they are just lights out at what they do. I've seen it
True.
working for $1 billion corporation. I know what talent looks like. So how can we eliminate these things? And honestly, like working in the corporate world and seeing how many people are on like Xanax, how many people have alcoholism, how many people have weed addiction. Like I have people that come to me saying, I just want to smoke less weed. And that's a legal substance. You know what I mean? Like I just want to smoke less weed. And I'm like, let's get you there. And it's because there's a root cause where you need the substance to escape. So what the hypnotherapy does is we let go of that traumatic wound or that shadow experience that you had. It could have been as a kid, could have been as an adult. And you know what? We hold that space and we let that go. And then also, after letting it go, we replace it with a positive thought. So instead of thinking you're not worthy of receiving love from someone, and whether you're single or you're in a marriage and you're having issues with your significant other because of, you know, this limiting belief, we let that go and we believe that we're worthy of love. And the improvements that I've seen with people around drinking and smoking and just these hindering effects is pretty profound. And then some people come to me, of course, because they want to, I mean, I could go on for days, but another great example that I have is someone came to me. She wanted to post on social media more and she had that block. She was like, I can't do it. I feel insecure. I'm like, yeah, you don't feel worthy enough to be seen. Like you don't feel worthy of being seen and you deserve to be seen. So we layer it back and we ask why. And there was a childhood wound and we heal that wound. And then we replaced with, I feel worthy of being seen. And then she grew on Instagram, like thousands of followers after like a few months of consistently posting and getting a social media team. Like, you know, the hypnotherapy that I do, it's not going to make you wealthy overnight. It's not going to make you successful overnight. You're not going to just let go of everything overnight, like the alcohol and the drugs. It's not going to be an overnight experience. But what it does, it gives you the empowerment to create healthy habits that are going to make you successful down the line. So if you want abundance and you want wealth and you want a hypnotherapist, I'm not going to make you rich. What I am going to do is I'm going to help you create healthy habits to get to the, you know, where you want to get to. Same with alcohol. Like instead of you drinking alcohol when you're sad, it's just energy. It's energy and it's sadness and it's those things. When we do the hypnosis, when you're sad, you're going to take that energy into like journaling, or maybe you're going to take that anger and you're going to go work out, or you're going to do some sort of exercise.
Something more productive.
Yeah. Maybe you're going to do art. Maybe you're going to make music. Maybe you're going to paint, you know, you're going to do different things. You're not going to go for, you know, the bottle, or you're not going to go for the blunt. Like it's just energy. That's, if I had to simplify what I'm telling everyone right now, everything is energy. And what you do with that energy is your choice. So basically the hypnotherapy just lets you use the energy in a more, I wouldn't even say a productive way, just a healthy way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's a great title for it too.
Yeah.
Because you look on stuff, executive is empowerment.
Yeah. And
executive in the same sentence? What the?
Yeah, I'm here to empower. Yeah, I'm here to empower people beyond business. It's really like your personal life too. Like you deserve to have success and abundance when you're aligned. You deserve to have that in all aspects of your life. And you deserve to have those things that you want, because when you let go of the things that made you feel unworthy and you let go of the hurt, you're no longer a victim of anything. And when you're no longer a victim, you're just like full courage, full unconditional love. And man, you attract what you are. Like I truly believe that.
Man, that's so true. And people don't think about it. They try to point it out to them. No, I'm not. Like, you always angry at the world. So yeah, you date people that's always angry.
Yeah.
The one that's more upbeat, they gonna come across you, feel like you got a dark cloud. They gonna walk away.
Yeah.
I want none of
Exactly.
that.
No, exactly. And it's just it really is just a mindset. And I tell people, because I worked in technology, your brain is the supercomputer to your life, and the brain is the supercomputer to your body. So it's like when you have all these programs or you have all these tabs open in your mind, it's going to slow you down.
Yeah.
Like it's really going to slow you down. So we got to close those tabs. We got to refresh some software. We got to delete some old programs, and we got to create some new programs. We got to download the upgrades, the iOS system.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, it's just, it's empowering you to step into your full, like you're the executive of your own life. You're not even just the executive of a company. You are the executive to your own life. And that's universal because everybody
Mm-hmm.
is their own founder and CEO of their own life.
That's true. Now, you were awarded a humanitarian award in Illinois. How was that?
Yeah. So it's called the Lincoln Laureate. And what the Lincoln Laureate is, you embody in college. So I basically went with, oh my goodness, I don't even know how many other schools are in Illinois. It was a lot. It was any university accredited
Okay.
school. So if you had a university on your title, you got invited. So basically what happened was and you pick one person from every university in Illinois. So
Mm.
I mean, there might have been 100 universities, like between big and small. I actually was bewildered about how many universities were in the state of Illinois. And I was selected because what you embody for this award is you have to be a good student. So you had to have over, I think it was a 3.5 GPA, a 3.5
Okay.
GPA. So like a B plus average GPA. So you had to have that. You had to be involved in student activities, and I was involved in a lot. So I was involved in football. I was also a philanthropy chair and recruitment chair for a fraternity. I was also
Wow.
a resident director, so I was in Res Life. I was also a multicultural ambassador for the school, so helping
Wow.
with diversity, like awareness and diversity programs. So I did that, and
That's a lot.
I was the student athlete advisory committee vice president. And then I was, I published my first book in college as well.
Wow.
So
That
I was doing a lot for sure. I did not sleep a lot in college, which was the only downside of that. But I've been catching up on sleep now for the rest of my life, which is great. I definitely recommend 7 to 8 hours of sleep if you can. But yeah, so I was doing all that, and that's why they awarded me this opportunity,
Okay.
because of being the embodiment of just a guy that really just, I put my hands in everything because people wanted me to, which I was surprised. I was like, why are you sure you want me to do this? Because I'm doing like these other things too. And they're like, yeah, well, you can miss a meeting here or there. Like, we just love having you. We love you making, decisions. And
Mhm.
I think I was honored the most because of the trust that people had in me to make these high level decisions for a whole student body, an athletic program, a football team, even.
Yeah.
Like, it was,
Good praise.
the decision power I had was pretty remarkable. And I didn't even realize it till after college, because there were times where I'm like, man, I'm at a small school, because it was like a school of, I want to say 2,000 people. It was very small school.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like, man, like, why am I here? Like, I was like, why am I here? And when I reflected back on all this stuff, and I got, like, they had this like awards banquet for the athletic program, and then they had awards for the school. And I was winning awards in the athletic banquet. And keep in mind, I was not an All-American. I was not all conference. I did play, but I didn't play much. Like, I was not this top tier athlete. Like, I was there and I was playing, but I wasn't getting the accolades, outside of that. But when I went to the athletic award banquet my senior year, they gave me it was like a service award, the athlete that,
Okay.
embodied being a servant leader. And that was pretty
Right.
cool. And then the awards banquet for the rest of the school was after that, my senior year.
Yeah.
And I got a bunch of awards for that too. And it was pretty crazy to reflect on that and be like, oh, that's why I was here. Like I was here to actually do things that I couldn't do at a big college. Because if I went to the University of Alabama, like
Oh
you're
yeah.
one of like 20,000 people, right? One of
Yeah.
30,000 people.
Yeah.
So like you might be able to get involved in like maybe one activity or two, but you're not going to get the same decision making power that you could go into a
Mm-hmm.
small school. And especially being an athlete, it put me in these circles where it's like, okay, this is a guy that, and the coaches were okay with it because they knew, oh, this guy is going to make our team look better. Yeah, we want him a part of like these other, you know, these
Wow.
other kind of teams in a way, teams meaning organizations. But yeah, man, like that's why I got that award because I didn't think I did a lot for the school
Okay.
at the time. But reflecting back on my senior year, I was like, wow, I really did do a lot. And I appreciated, the admins and the higher ups that made the decision to choose me. I appreciated them for seeing that body of work that I could create as a leader.
I appreciate David Pushkin chiming in. Once we let go of ego, let kindness in.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Yeah, when you let go of the ego, you let go of that comfort zone, and you bring in that
Mhm.
kindness. Your consciousness expands, your brain expands, and your heart space too. And we need more open hearts in the world right
Ah,
now.
you ain't lying.
We need
Well,
more love. Like leading with
yeah.
love is something that I really try to push for these executives that I meet with. I'm like,
Yeah,
how
you
are you loving your employees? Because love is a weird
do.
word for people,
Yeah.
and it shouldn't be, because love is literally the embodiment that we're taught. Whether it's in religion or movies or books or whatever, like love is in
Mhm.
everything, and it's just a vibration, and you got to follow that. So I'm like, how are you loving your employees? How are you loving your kids? How are you loving your partner, your friends? Like, what are you doing to embody that? And I think we need more of that. So that was a great comment.
Thank you. Now we reached the time where you promote what you have going on and coming up. Floor is yours.
Yeah. So I got the kids book, Brave Kids Volume 3, Brave Healer Productions. I'm doing a big talk next year.
Nice.
Right now I'm trying to get I would say the details ironed out, but TED in Apex, North Carolina, TED Apex is what I'm shooting for next year, or this year, not next year, but this year in the fall. So fingers crossed on that. And I am working on just my business, growing my business, utilizing the
Okay.
hypnotherapy for executive empowerment. I also have a collective group and a community of entrepreneurs trying to start a business where it's like just a monthly kind of membership fee. And I have
Mm-hmm.
basically 3 other business partners that teach accounting, branding using social media. I have another kind of health. She's more of a health coach, mindset coach. So she helps
Mm-hmm.
people with their kind of physical well-being. And then I do basically I do group sessions monthly on meditation, and it's a hypnotherapy session, but it's more geared towards a group. So it's a little more vague, where my one-on-one sessions are definitely more geared to you and what you want. And also, we iron out the details together. So I have that collective group, and it's on my website, on my socials, where you can sign up and get 30 days free trial. And I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I'm just working on the business, trying to grow the business as much as I can. I have my own
Yeah.
podcast called The Weekly Coop. The
Okay.
Weekly Coop is on all platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google. I think it's on all platforms except Amazon Music right now. So you can go check that out. I'm on YouTube as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a lot. So I'm trying to rack my brain on all the things that I'm doing. But yeah, I would say the biggest ones are the community, my business, and the children's book. The children's book is definitely something I'm really proud of. So yeah, and then public speaking. If you have my last thing, I'll plug. But if you have a community that's virtual, or you want a wellness speaker virtually or in person, I do offer those services. So my public speaking services I offer, like I said, I'm doing, TED this year, but I'm also opening up to other experiences, whether virtual or in person. And I have, like I said, a keynote. I have 2 workshop topics and then 2 keynote topics that I can discuss with, you as a business owner, or just like you, if you,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it literally can be like if you are a professor at a university and you want someone to come in and talk about this type of thing, like I'm more than game to doing that. If you're a business owner and you want to talk to your employees about wellness, I'm more than happy to do that. And if you're also, just a person with like a community, a private community that you have members in, and you want to have, learn wellness or mindset, or a group hypnotherapy session, meditation type thing, also open to that as well. I don't have this open right now yet, but next year I'm going to offer a fractional, so like a fractional C-suite position for small corporations or small businesses, I guess, as a chief well-being officer, so a CWO. So I'm working on the kind of outlines of that. And basically what I do is I can come in on a monthly retainer, work a certain number of hours per week, and just help with the wellness blueprint for your company, and just like help find ways to, boost the overall health of your employees, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. So we get off those Xanax pills, we get off those heavy medications, the alcoholism, and just, or, people that are just not great employees to be around. So it's either going to be like a chief people officer offering or a chief well-being officer. I haven't really decided the parameters yet. I just want to figure out what would fit best for, a small business or a larger business or corporation type. So yeah, that being said, I think those are all the things that I've basically covered. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, take your time. We want to make sure you get you out here, what you got going on.
It's a lot.
Hey, you do your thing. Keep going. Don't stop.
I do get sleep though. I do get sleep now.
Yeah.
I prioritize that.
I do that now.
Well, it's funny because like people, you got so much going on, and like, how do you sleep? And really it's like, I have all these things, but it's not like I work on these things every single day. Like, the children's book stuff, like I'm working on like once a week, and sometimes that's sacrificing like an hour in the evening or a few hours in the evening, or, I go out and be social on the weekends and sometimes weeknights, but not really. I don't need to. I have friends and stuff too. But the thing is, like, I don't spend all my time working on these things every single day. Like I devote time to other endeavors. And like the children's book, it's like a once a week thing, or like the public speaking, that's like a once a week thing, and having like an assistant help me, outsource like meetings and bookings and like all this stuff. So, when you learn to automate day-to-day stuff, like you don't have to work on all these things at once, and you don't need to work on all these things at once. You should be able to work on things, like as a business owner, you should be able to work on things when you want to, not like when you have to. And I guess what I mean is you don't necessarily need to do the same thing every day over and over again for the rest of your life. Like it's okay to diversify your talents and like work on your different talents when you feel more electrified to do so, when you feel more inspired and motivated to do so. So that's just kind of like my piece on, I'm not always necessarily busy. I just have a lot of different passions that I love to, devote time and energy to when it calls to me.
Yeah, you utilize all of them, man. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Now, what has been your biggest challenge on your journey?
Biggest challenge, I would say my biggest challenge on my journey has been hitting obstacles and just continuing to drive through because, starting your own business, starting your own journey, and putting yourself out there in public speaking and like those sorts of realms, it's not easy, and it doesn't reward you right away.
Yeah.
So it's continuing that confidence in myself to keep going,
Mm-hmm.
even if other people don't see you, don't believe in you,
Oh,
or
man.
don't want to work with you. And sometimes you waste time in networking calls, or you have like a sales closing call, and then you find out the person isn't financially ready to make that investment yet, and it's like you can either view that as 30 minutes of wasted time,
Mm-hmm.
or you see it as an at bat, and you can learn from just different scenarios and different situations. So that is I think that's been my biggest challenge, is staying the course. And even though I haven't seen like the fruits of my labor right away, I'm starting to see them now. Like, I'm starting to see it now, and I've been working on this really hard with a mentor for you know, almost a year. And like, it
Nice.
took a lot of time. It took a lot of foundation building. It took a lot of
Mm-hmm.
mistakes. you know, there have been times where I was like,
Absolutely.
"Oh, I didn't set that meeting at the right time, or I double booked," or you make mistakes.
I've
And
done
yeah,
that.
being a business owner, you make mistakes. So starting my own business
Mm-hmm.
has created room for mistakes, but I don't see that as mistakes. I see it as just learning lessons to grow. So that's been my biggest, and the biggest challenge with that, I would say, is the self talk, in terms of I've had to let go of perfectionism. So I've let go
Oh,
of the need to be perfect, which has been a great challenge for me, because uh, being gentler with my self talk when things happen and I learn. So that's yeah, it's been the biggest challenge.
yeah. And even when you're on your journey, God will show you the vision.
Mhm.
And you might not be making money yet, but people like, you still doing that thing? Why is that thing that little thing? Well, you ain't done nothing.
Exactly.
Like, he showed me what it's supposed to do, and as long as you keep believing and keep working,
Yeah.
going to hit pay dirt.
Yep.
And the same people that was talking that bull jive, oh man, you awesome. You
Yep.
got a job opening?
Yep.
So you just waiting for it to bear fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, first in line, huh?
Yeah, waiting for it to pop off. Yeah, that's how it
Where was
always
before
be.
that though?
Yep. Yep.
Now, in your words, what has been your impact in the community?
I would say my impact has been, man, I would say my impact has been being an authentic creator through and through. And I say that because the life that I've lived has been different from people, and it's been unique from people, and we all have unique experiences. But I think what I'm proud of myself the most is never thinking I'm better than anyone, and never um like bragging or flexing on anyone,
Okay.
because a lot of people in a lot of spaces, not even just the space that I'm in, but just like a lot of spaces, you see a lot of people just kind of throwing in other people's faces like this comparison syndrome, where it matters how much money you make, or it matters how many followers you have, or it matters how many views you get and like subscribers. And it's a very it's interesting, the society that we've created through entrepreneurship, and it is a beautiful process to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm proud of myself for always staying authentic and never like pretending to be something I'm not, which I'm never going to pretend to be, no matter what my financial status is, I'm never going to pretend to think I'm better than people. I'm never going to like dress super flashy and, you know, take pictures in, you know, nice cars or planes and like be like, yeah, I'm doing better than you because like I did all this and that and I dedicated these long hours and, you know, all this stuff, you know, that's not, I'm proud of myself because I'll never do that. And I know I won't because I'm already building myself up really well. And I don't need to flash it to anyone. I think the impact that I've made is just be true to yourself. Just be authentic and
And
be
that's key.
and do what makes you happy. And it doesn't necessarily have to have a monetary value to it. Like do what makes you happy. Like if you want to be like I'm saying this because the snow has been crazy here in St. Louis, but
Oh yeah, it
if
just
you
snowed here.
if you want to just shovel snow and make, you know, a good living, you know, and have a family, you know, and do that, go do it. You know, if you love like if you do love the startup life and creating businesses for people and helping them get off the ground, go do that. If you love music, go do that. If you love painting, go do that. It doesn't the thing doesn't need to make you rich. All it needs to do is make your life comfortable and be and stress free, and you can get there. And you don't have to worry about certain parameters. You know, if you're authentically aligned, people will buy. People don't buy your services or products. People buy you. They buy a piece of you. They buy a piece of your heart, your mind, and actually somewhat of like your soul. So like, what are you selling your soul to? Like, you know, are you giving it to God and letting God give you the benefits? Or are you selling it to, you know, entities? Or are you selling it to corporations? Like, what are you selling it to? I choose to sell mine to God and let God give me the rewards for it. So that is what I think I've been the embodiment of. It's just this authentic person truly wants to help people and have full faith that everything is going to be okay. And, you know, whatever challenges get thrown at me, I know God's got me.
Yeah, because some people lose that. I mean, if you, from what I'm watching musicians and other fields of people that have done great things,
right?
You're gonna make money at some point.
100%.
You stay the course.
Yep.
You're gonna hit the oil like the Beverly Hills.
Exactly.
It's gonna happen.
Exactly.
Oh, now you down the day, time, hour, you don't know. But if you just keep working at it, oh man, we hit oil. We good.
Yep.
Now,
exactly, man.
Do you let that temptation gonna like, we Ric Flair now, baby. Let's get the jet, the car, or you still stay calm in yourself.
Exactly.
And that's where people have that torment, like, man, I can go anywhere right now, but do you need to do that? Because over there, it's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna take you off the path.
Yeah. So, if you got a good circle around you and you got a good family, you got good friends, you just find your purpose. And like when you're aligned with your purpose, the right people will come into your life actually. And I've noticed that through finding my purpose. I have let go of a decent amount of people over the past few years. And now I've attracted really, really tight-knit friendships. And I don't have a million friends by any means, but I have probably 5 to 10 really tight homies that I can rely on for anything. And
that's good.
I'm so happy. And I have a good relationship with my family, my siblings, my parents. Like, I love them to death. And, like whatever comes into my abundance, I know I'm going to give that back to my family and friends in a beautiful way too. So like, yeah, in the end, it's not about me. It's just about God and God's purpose and just healing a million people. Healing a million people is my life path and my life's journey. So I'm going to make that happen.
Man, I believe you will.
Thank you.
We've come to the Yoda game.
Yeah.
Hope I made you comfortable, relaxed.
Yeah.
Ponder on this question. What advice do you have for others trying to find their purpose?
Yeah. Two things come to mind. One, don't put a timetable on it. I see kids in their 20s find their purpose, or like kids in their late teens find their purpose. It's amazing. I love it. I'm connected with some people. But I see people find their purpose in their 30s, their 40s. Don't put a timetable on it. Just because you see an 18-year-old kid find their purpose doesn't mean like you at the age of 28 is a loser. Like don't put age. I don't like that we put age on things now. Like ageism to me is so real because like we're so worried about having it all figured out at a young age. The life is what you make of it. So you can make your life whatever. Like you can find your purpose at 18, but you could lose that when you're 50. Like you could. Like you could get cocky and arrogant and still lose it. Like so who cares when you find it, right? As long as you just find it, it doesn't matter about the age. So that's one. True. Two, finding your purpose requires internal reflection, and it requires letting go of your ego and what makes you comfortable. So your internal reflection is going to be uncomfortable. But when you let that go and you let it go to God and you receive unconditional love for things, traumas, people, when you receive unconditional love and you give that unconditional love, it'll give right back to you. And people will see that. That's why I love the middle ground, because from what it sounds like, it embodies unconditional love, because you can talk about choosing this or that and having these opinions and having these thoughts that are like, maybe a little intense, or you don't agree with someone. That's okay though. If you have unconditional love for that person, even though you don't agree with them, that is maturity, and that is finding your purpose. So finding purpose within yourself requires going deep internally, finding out why things, I say trigger, they trigger the ego. Why does that happen? Well, it happens because, this happened when I was a kid. This happened when I was an adult. I need to sit on this for a second, kind of grieve it, and then I let it go. And then I move on. And I find when I've let go of grieving moments of traumas in the past and I let those things go, that's where I found my purpose. I'm like, wow, I loved healing myself. I want to heal someone else. So you find the purpose through your pain. You find the purpose through alchemizing the traumas and the problems that were in your life at one point. That is what entrepreneurship is. You solve a problem with a solution, but it goes a little bit deeper because you solve your own life problem. And then it's like, whoa, I mastered how to solve this problem. I want to teach other people that have that same problem. That's what I did. So find the purpose through your pain, and you got to go internally and find that and reflect on that.
That's awesome.
I appreciate that.
So how'd you enjoy being in the middle ground the first time?
I love it. Like I said, I think it really embodies unconditional love, because we might not agree on everything. And that's what life's about. If you can disagree with someone on something, I think we're a little too divisive as a society. I think if you can actually just love the person, no matter what their differences are from you.
Yeah, we're grown-ups.
That's how we were supposed to live. That's showing God's love.
You see blue, I see black. That's fine.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a fight.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be a fight, man.
That's crazy. People do it like, I ain't got to like blue. No, you need to like, when do we get to that in society?
Yeah.
You like blue, I like black. We still good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Be a better place.
Exactly.
Now, you're part of the Middle Ground family, so anything I can do to help you succeed more, let me know. And we'll come back on the show.
Yes.
You're more than welcome.
Absolutely.
All about collaboration.
100%. I'd love to be back here. This was incredible. Would love to promote this channel. this was an incredible experience. I really do appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday to be here with me. Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate sharing this amazing story.
Yes. Thank you.
Some people, they think you have an ulterior motive, and I'm coming across more that don't come in like this. Like, I'm not 10. I don't care where you was. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about what you did to be awesome. That's it.
No, much love, much love.
Definitely. Well, we want to definitely thank keynote speaker, 2-time best-selling author, cancer survivor, life coach, hypnotherapist, founder of Conscious Creation Ministries, executive empowerment strategist, Cooper Harrison, MBA, RMT, CH, sharing his journey. And go to his website, get his books. I'm going to put a list together of the show so I can put all those on there on LinkedIn so they can click on there, find what you got going on, put you out there every more. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your weekend, sir.
Thank you, sir. Much love. Thank you so much for this.
Appreciate you. And everybody, ground floor is at 9 o'clock. We're going to talk about something. And I might say some lines, just Detroit. Sorry.
Love that. Love that.
But y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Till next time, everybody.
Detroit raised me. Detroit's in me. Can't